Hi, it's me again, and last time, Kyle was kind enough to point out that I did not do a presentation, so I thought, why not do one right now? But it'll have to be short, because I really want to review this book. It's awesome. Anyway, I'm 18 years old, I'm Swedish, and I live in this really small town in the middle of Sweden, and if you want to know how to pronounce my name, it's Kaisa, and it's spelled with an I, not a J, which is interesting for no one. The first book I read, the first real book that wasn't a children's book, was probably Harry Potter, and that was when I was around 7 or 8, I don't know, no, probably 10, I'm exaggerating. Anyway, I've been reading ever since. I'm originally not a vlogger, I'm a blogger, which makes sense because I've always sucked at expressing myself verbally, so I guess this whole vlogging thing is a good idea, huh? I have J-tard tendencies, and I don't like pillows. I think I'm done. Okay, so the book I'm gonna review today is called Fallen by Lauren Kate, and I've seen a lot of reviews on this book on YouTube. I think everyone has done a review on this book, but I don't care because I loved it, and WeReadBooks needs to have a review on Fallen. So it's about this girl called Luce, and she's always been kind of weird. Ever since she was a kid, she's seen like big scary shadows following her, and when her parents found out, they of course got scared and they took her to different doctors, and the doctors gave her meds, and all of a sudden she was a troubled child, you know. But things got really bad when this boy that she liked, called Trevor, kind of went up in flames in this weird incident that Luce can't explain and doesn't really want to talk about. She gets sent to this really scary school for troubled kids. I wouldn't really call them troubled kids though, they're more like dangerous people. But in this really scary and bleak and depressing school, she sees this boy called Daniel, and he's extremely rude. He doesn't want to talk to her, he ignores her, but she just has this weird feeling that she's seen him somewhere before. He looks really familiar. And I love this book. It's amazing. It's beautifully written. Really, Lauren Kate is an amazing author. For like most of the book, not much happens. It's a very slow book, even though it's kind of thick, I guess. Smudged. But I like thick books, and I like it when the author doesn't shove as much info and action as possible into every chapter. Books like that, they're really hard to read. They're messy and not interesting, and everything seems really illogical and unreal. And sure, they're supposed to be unreal, but even supernatural books can make sense. Kind of. Fallen makes sense. And if you're like me and you're sick of vampires, then read Fallen. It's got the supernatural kind of theme, but it's got something way better than vampires. And I'm not going to say what it is, even though it's kind of obvious. You know, if you go to the website, it's printed in bold letters, and if you read the back, it also says what it is. But I'm not going to say it because I think it's a spoiler, and you want to find out for yourself. The characters are okay. Okay, that's kind of the weak point of the book, I guess. Especially Luce, the main character, is so boring. Ah, she's kind of like Bella from Twilight. She's like Bella #2. I think it's hard writing an interesting main character because the main character is kind of just there to explain how awesome everyone else is. But still, I think she could have done a better job, especially seeing as she's such a good writer. I've read books with interesting main characters before, so it's possible. You know, fix it, please. Because Luce, wow, she's got no personality whatsoever. Daniel is probably the best character in the book, even though he's barely in it. But you always want him to be there, and when he shows up, he's always awesome. Cam is also one of the better characters, and I think that Cam and Daniel, it's gonna be one of those Jacob, Edward kind of things. And if that's true, then I'm probably on team Daniel. Yeah. And I'm comparing these two books, Twilight and Fallen, because I see a lot of similarities between the two. Even though Fallen is written by a better author, according to me, and it's about something completely different, I still see a lot of similarities, especially since, you know, Luce, the whole backstory, the whole, you know, mysterious thing that you were supposed to find out, you kind of already know from the start. So the end of this book isn't shocking or anything, it's just kind of satisfactory. But since it's the start of a series, the second book is coming out in September this year, I think it's a good, you know, first book. It's kind of just created to tease us readers and get us excited to read book #2, and I am excited, and I'm gonna buy the second book, and I think it's gonna be good, you know, because there's a lot that we haven't found out yet, and I think it's gonna be apocalyptic, if that's a word. I don't know, but it's gonna be one of those the end of the world kind of things. And I like that. I like that a lot. If WeReadBooks did the whole rating thing, I don't know if we do that, but if we did, then I would give it probably like an 8 out of 10, because it's that good. Not a 10, but maybe book #2 would be a 10 out of 10. I don't know. I'm hoping. Read Fallen. You should definitely read Fallen, and then you can tell me in the comments what you thought about it, or if you've already read it, please tell me right now. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you next time.